Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited to share this summit with you. The speakers so far have been pretty awesome and insightful, right? I've taken quite a bit of notes and I'm hopeful that you guys have done the same. I am Candace Elaine, the CEO and founder of Reframing Solutions, and I am a certified life and business coach. I started out spending a significant amount of time working with clients who were either divorced or going through a separation. Over time, my business has evolved and I now service clients who are entrepreneurs. I have coached clients from underserved areas. I have coached clients internationally, specifically in South Africa. I have partnered with nonprofits and NGOs. My client list includes a range of both men and women who need support when life was lifing. It is an honor to speak to you today about a concept that is both profound and transformational, and that is reclaiming your identity. So, to the recent caregiver whose loved one has now transitioned, to the person who just retired from the military and is entering the civilian world, thank you for your service and sacrifice. To the recently divorced individual, to the empty nester, to the new entrepreneur, to the recently college grad, to the person who has recently gotten out of a long term relationship, or anyone currently going through or just coming out of a major life transition. What I know to be true is that you all have something in common. You all have asked yourself one of these two questions: who am I? Or what do I do now? And you're not alone in that ask. I understand also the need for validation, for direction, for clarity, for confidence, because that was me. It is now my life's mission to help co create and coach individuals to reclaim their identity, to restore their confidence, and craft a fulfilling life aligned with their deepest passions and desires. And what I also know is that you don't have to depend on someone to give that to you. You don't have to depend on getting love and support and validation from someone else. You can give it to yourself. During our time together, I will cover alignment, boundaries. I'll talk a little bit about habits and goals. And of course, we have to discuss your environment. All of those things are imperative to reclaiming your identity. So when I got a divorce, I filed for it. I was young and insecure. But the truth is, I didn't want the divorce. I just wanted the pain to stop. And it took me a while to figure that out. After the divorce, I was still insecure. I was unhappy. On top of that, I was dealing with guilt and shame and isolation. And in that isolation hit me, how am I experiencing the same feelings when I am no longer married? I realized I didn't want the divorce. I just wanted to be seen and heard and understood by him. That, among other things, was bothering me, and I was just in pain and I was hurting. And I didn't articulate that properly. I wanted him to be a mind reader like so many young women do. And sadly, I ended my marriage prematurely. And at that time, I didn't know if I would ever get married again. So looking for those things in my significant other was out of the question. I had to figure it out. I had to turn within and figure out what I wanted, where I wanted to go in life, how I was going to get there, and the person I wanted to be. The framework I used to start living a fulfilled life is the exact same framework that I use in my business to walk my clients through today. And one key piece of that framework is alignment. Alignment extends beyond balance or harmony. It speaks to the essence of how we live, work, and interact with the world. When we are aligned, we operate from a place of realness and purpose. And this alignment becomes the foundation for our success and fulfillment. Each of us has a unique path to find our alignment. This journey requires introspection and honesty. When we are going through things, we have to stop spending so much time asking, how did I get here? What if I did this? What if I did that? We have to accept what happened and start asking ourselves, what now? We have to pause. We have to do the inner work and ask ourselves, what are my core values? What am I passionate about? Who do I want to become? What have I been putting off that I need to do and that I want to do? Does my behavior and habits align with the person I want to be? I'll give you an example. I value being a good mother, right? And good is defined to me as being supportive physically, emotionally, and financially. I had to self reflect and accept I was completely out of alignment with that value. My habits and behavior didn't consistently support the ideal of valuing being a good mother. You would think if I value being a good mother, that that meant that I was spending a lot of time with my daughter, and I wasn't. There was a time period where, on average, I was spending about 2 hours a day with her. It was so bad that some days I didn't even see her during her waking hours. I would leave for work and she would sleep, and then when I got home, she would sleep. There were some nights she would leave notes on my bed saying, various things to me. She loved me. She missed me. Things would get better. I want some Roblox. These notes were left on my bed for me to see when I got home because we didn't see each other. And I would write her back and leave it either on her bed or in the bathroom so she could see the notes when she got up the next morning. I was working 12, 15-hour days, and that didn't include the 45-minute drive there and back. I was working on the weekends, so how can I honestly say that I valued being a good mother when my behaviors and habits did not align with being there physically and emotionally for her? It was a hard pill to swallow, and I had to accept I was out of alignment in that area, right? I was spending minimal time with her due to the long hours. Also, during that time, I questioned my worth a lot. I realized that when I was married, I put my worth in being a good wife. And when that failed, I felt unworthy. I did start counseling and I realized I transferred my worth to work. And then I was trying to figure out, am I a great employee? Am I dependable? Could I be a six-figure earner? Could I be great in leadership? I had no idea I was out of alignment with misplacing my worth now in work. So I had to set boundaries. And boundaries are not just about saying no to others, they're about saying yes to ourselves, our values, and our well being. Clear boundaries support our alignment and empower us to live authentically and purposefully. Boundaries are essential for maintaining our personal integrity and ensuring that our actions align with our core values and goals. They serve as a protective barrier that shields us from external pressures and demands that do not serve our highest good. Setting boundaries is crucial for our mental and emotional health. They help us manage stress, avoid burnout, and maintain a healthy balance between our personal and professional lives. So, some practical steps for setting and maintaining boundaries include, but are not limited to, understanding your physical, emotional and mental limits. Recognize what makes you uncomfortable or stressed. Express your boundaries clearly and assertively. Use I statements to convey your needs without blaming others. For example, I need some quiet time to focus on my work. I tell my daughter all the time, I'm going in a shell, and she knows that means I need to decompress and have some alone time. Consistency is important. Enforce your boundaries by consistently telling people, even though it's challenging. This helps others understand and respect your limits. Learn to say no. Saying no is critical in setting boundaries, and it's not a rejection of others, but a reaffirmation of your priorities. Practice saying no firmly but kindly. Seek support. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries. I would also recommend seek advice and encouragement from trusted friends, family members, mentors, or life coaches. And of course, adjust as needed. Boundaries are not static. Regularly evaluate and adjust them according to your needs and circumstances. For me, I had to create boundaries and I realized I had to cut back on my work hours to spend more time with my daughter. I set boundaries on my work hours, ensuring that I was home in time for dinner most nights. This boundary not only improved my relationship with my daughter, but overall, it helped with my well-being because I was working more and I wasn't really being appreciated. I was experiencing burnout, but hey, that's a separate conversation for another time. I had to put in boundaries to get that balance. Now, let's talk about habits. Your daily habits shape your identity. Positive and productive habits are crucial for maintaining and enhancing your identity. They are the small, consistent actions that lead to significant change over time. To build positive habits, start small and be consistent. Identify one habit you want to develop and focus on it until it becomes a part of your routine. For example, if you want to start exercising regularly, begin with a 10-minute walk each day and gradually increase the duration and intensity. Breaking negative habits requires self awareness and commitment. Identify the habits that are hindering your progress and replace them with positive alternatives. For instance, if you tend to procrastinate and you develop a habit of tackling the most challenging task first thing in the morning, that is a replacement. So take a moment and ask yourself, what habits are serving you? What habits are hurting you? What habits do you need to continue? And what habits do you need to stop? Can you be intentional and stay disciplined? Or do you need a coach like myself to co create a game plan and hold you accountable? Do me a favor and think about some of your goals and the habits you currently have. Imagine what would your life look like if you continue the positive, productive habits and reached your goals. Imagine what your life will look like if you continue the habits that are hindering you and distracting you from where you want to be. People are watching you. Give them something to see. You'll be surprised how many people will actually be inspired. Great habits and becoming a better version of yourself is actually bigger than you. And of course, when discussing habits, goals are usually in the same conversation. So be intentional about setting goals and making them bite sized. Celebrate your wins to maintain momentum. Set goals that align with who you want to be. And to set effective goals, ensure your goals are aligned with your core values and the long term vision. This alignment will provide a sense of purpose and direction. Divide your goals into smaller, manageable tasks. This makes them less overwhelmed and allow you to track your progress. Develop a step-by-step plan to achieve your goal. This includes deadlines and milestones to keep yourself accountable. Regularly visualize yourself achieving those goals. This positive reinforcement will keep you motivated and focused. People really do underestimate the power of visualization. Share your goals with someone you trust or a coach who can hold you accountable and provide the support and encouragement you need. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Each step forward is progress and deserves recognition. This practice will keep your momentum going and reinforce your commitment to your goals. Finally, you have to consider your environment. Where are you going? What are you consuming? Who are you allowing to speak into your life? Do these factors support where you want to go and who you want to be? What about the negative influences? Do you need to detox from the negative things? Your environment significantly impacts your mindset and your behavior. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Create a physical space that reflects your values and goals. Declutter your environment to create a sense of calm and order. Ask yourself, does my environment support my goals and values? Are the people around me encouraging and supportive? What changes can I make to create a more positive and empowering environment? Consider the content you consume daily. Is it motivating? Is it educational? Or does it drain your energy and focus? Be mindful of the shows you watch, your social media intake, and the activities that you engage in. Choose those that contribute positively to your personal growth. Rebuilding and reclaiming who you are is a journey. And when you are in alignment and you set boundaries and you have productive habits and monitor your environment, you will have clarity and focus to be the best version of yourself. You must be ready to embrace change. You must have a growth mindset. You must focus on the future, learning, improving, and continue both personal and professional development. And I encourage you to take action today. Go write the book. Go apply for the position. Go try the kink or the fantasy or whatever new experience. Go take the class or the training. Start dating again. Go take the trip. You deserve it. What's stopping you? That limiting belief, that negative self talk, that excuse, stop. Cancel all that noise and replace it. It can be done. Whatever went through your mind when I said take action, whatever you believed by a choice, which means you can choose to believe something else and replace it with a new thought, an empowering thought. An identity crisis is an opportunity to grow. And if you are struggling and want to stop existing and start living, I invite you to work with me 101 to co create action steps, reframe your mindset, restore your confidence, reactivate your dreams, and reclaim your identity. You can message me on Facebook or Instagram at Reframe with Candace to schedule a call. It has been a pleasure and honor to speak with you. But stick around, there are more phenomenal and dynamic speakers. Chris was very intentional about having speakers who will pour into you, who will share knowledge, drop gems, drop nuggets, and speakers who will educate you. So sit tight and enjoy the rest of the summit. Bye for now.